name is Karen. Need to tell you what happened to me the night I went for a late night walk. You see, I couldn't sleep and, well, when I tried, I would wake up in 10 minutes. Pretty useless to doze off only to find you've woken in a mere couple of minutes. Anyway, I put on a non-formal jacket and jeans because it was getting to the autumn season. I lock the door before I leave because there have been a lot of break-ins lately. I'm in college, and this would be my sophomore year, so whatever I bought was very important. It was more chilly than usual, so I zipped up my jacket and pulled my hood over my head. I walked down the driveway and into an empty lot. It was like a graveyard. No sound, no light, no nothing. Just a mere silence. It was somehow eerie how odd and quiet it can actually be. I sat down and brought along my drawing pad. I'm an art major, and I look forward to being a very good artist someday. I began to draw a phoenix coming out of the fire, which is odd because I don't normally draw animals, but this was turning out pretty good. I began to hear some noises, which I thought was a bummer since I was getting used to the silence. I started to get worried because the woods surrounded the lot, so I thought it might have been a bear. I immediately stopped what I was doing and was still for a few minutes. It seemed like forever, and I kept checking my watch. It was 10 minutes after the noise had stopped when I finally realized that there was no bear. I went back to my art and silently worked in peace. All I could hear was the sound of my eraser. I was in the middle of my drawing, which I must say looked better than I expected, when I had a strange feeling, a feeling that someone was watching me and every movement I made. I know it's common and usually it's nothing, but this time was different. I even looked back and everything. I brushed it off and tried to get over the little distractions that kept me from my work. I heard a girl laughing in the trees. Strange. I thought I was the only one here. Hello? I called out to anyone who heard or even made that noise. But suddenly, the laughing stopped. Confusion clouded my head, and curiosity got me moving. I put down my drawing pad and walked toward the edge of the wooded area. Hello? I attempted to call out again to anyone who was listening. Still no answer. I was a little brave, so I went about 10 feet into the woods when I heard that laughing again. It was a whole lot closer this time, as if it was right in front of my face. I have to admit, I'm not so brave, so I went back. I was at the edge of the woods when I looked back, and call me crazy, but I could swear I saw a blue flash of light zip from left to right in a quick motion. I was getting a little freaked out at this point, so I turned back to grab my stuff and get the hell out of there. One problem though, and this was really spooky. Somehow, my drawing pad and pencil disappeared. How could they have gotten away? They couldn't have grown legs. Okay, I just had to calm down. I knew I couldn't panic because what good would that have done? I thought for a second, and nothing explained how my stuff got away. Maybe someone stole them for some weird reason. I don't know why, but whoever it was must have really liked art or something. I heard the laughing again, and it was behind me. I turned and saw a teenage girl that looked 17 maybe. She was real pretty. Her wavy white hair, her eyes were a rosy red, and her skin was so fair. But her gown, or what was left of it, was torn to shreds and was a faded blue. She was smiling at me, and stared at me. I smiled back so I wouldn't look scared, but then she frowned as if I did something to upset her. What's wrong? I stuttered, my voice like that of a terrified little girl. She looked at me and cocked her head to the side. She started to walk towards me, and I was so scared that I took 2 steps back, and even wanted to turn and run away, but for whatever reason that not even I know, I stayed put. She came inches from my face, and gave me an intimidating smile that made me want to curl up and disappear. She said 5 words that had to end in disturbance.
You know what I like?
Her voice was so elegant, yet a little creepy. In all absurdity, I foolishly asked, "What?" She looked at me, and I swear I could hear a nightingale sing so softly, which is strange, because there were no nightingales around here. But after all that was happening, it didn't come as a surprise to me. She pointed to my cheek and whispered,
Seeing human blood on bark.
My eyes widened in fear as I felt a sharp pain in my stomach. I looked down and found her hand lodged in my gut. I wanted to scream, but knew no one would hear me. She put a wide gash in my chest that made me fall backwards, and I yelped like an injured puppy. I looked up at her, and she was smiling. Smiling! As if this pleased her. I finally gathered strength and pushed through the pain. I wanted to kill this bitch before she killed a weaker person. I got up and swung at her as hard as I possibly could, but she disappeared into thin air. What the hell was going on? I frantically looked all over the place for her when I heard a whisper in my ear.
Stupid human.
I swung in the direction in which the voice came, but nothing was there. This girl was not human. She couldn't have kept doing this so fast. I was starting to get tired, but I couldn't stop. I couldn't let my guard down. I didn't want to die here, alone. I just started swinging at the air, hoping I would hit her at some point. Then I heard laughing again. I turned to see her sitting on the air, her legs crossed, and laughing at me. I know I must have looked foolish, but this only ignited my anger. I charged toward her, but then a huge gust of wind knocked me back. Her feet touched the ground, and she came toward me. I was frightened and scared to the point of shaking, but I knew I was too tired to do anything. She knelt down next to me, and her face came inches to mine. Then I heard that laugh, that awful laugh that seemed to taunt me. Her speaking tone turned to a teasing and menacing whisper.
Nighty-night, sleepyhead.
I felt her hand come over my face as I felt a sharp headache. Her smile was the last thing I saw before I blacked out. I woke up in a hospital bed near campus the next day. The police said they found me on the ground with an alcoholic beverage beside me. They told me I must have passed out from being drunk, and that this is common for me not to remember most of last night. I agreed because I knew they wouldn't believe the real thing. I'm typing this to tell you not to go into any kind of woodland area no matter where you live. It's a dangerous and dark place. Please, I'm begging you, stay in your homes whenever you can. This thing isn't human, and it won't stop killing people.